My beloved child, listen to my voice, for this message is urgent, and it is not by chance that you have come across it at this exact moment. I have called upon you many times, I have whispered to your spirit in the stillness of the night, I have sent signs upon your path, and yet you have wandered, unaware of the deep and mighty battle that has raged over your soul. My love for you is eternal, and my patience is great, but the time has now come for truth to be revealed, for the veil to be lifted, for that which has been hidden to be exposed before your very eyes. My child, Archangel Michael has wept for you. He, the mighty warrior of my heavenly army, the guardian of righteousness, the defender against the forces of darkness, has cried out because he sees what you do not. He has stood before me, pleading, interceding, warring on your behalf, because the enemy has laid a trap before you, a deception so great that without my intervention, you would walk into it unaware, and it would consume you utterly. There are things happening that you do not yet perceive, forces at work beyond the physical realm, and choices before you that will determine your eternity. In just 3 days, the course of your destiny will be sealed. There will be no turning back. I do not say this to bring fear, but to awaken you to the reality that time is short. The warnings have been many, but you have dismissed them as mere coincidence, as imagination, as something that does not concern you directly. But my child, this concerns you more than you know. The enemy has desired to sift you like wheat, to pull you away from my presence, to drown you in distractions, to keep your eyes fixed on things that do not matter while the real battle rages around you. You have been deceived into thinking you have time, that there is always another day, another chance, another opportunity to make things right. But I am telling you now, the time is now. You have felt it, haven't you? The restless stirring in your soul, the unshakable feeling that something is coming, something is shifting, something unseen is pressing upon you. That is my spirit calling to you, warning you, urging you to wake up. There are things happening that you cannot see, but I see them. The darkness has crept closer, and the forces that have long opposed you have intensified their efforts, knowing that their window of opportunity is closing. Your name has been spoken in places you do not know. There have been whispers, plots, and alliances formed against you, even from those you once trusted. There is one among you, one close to you, whose heart is not with you, who has harbored jealousy and resentment in secret, who has aligned themselves with forces that are not of me. You have ignored the signs, you have dismissed the warnings, but now I pull back the curtain and expose what has been hidden. The truth is before you, and it will shake you to your core. Archangel Michael has stood ready, his sword drawn, his voice lifted in a cry of anguish, because he sees what is coming. He has been assigned to watch over you, to protect you, to fight on your behalf, but even he cannot override the choices you must make. You must choose to listen. You must choose to turn away from the path that leads to destruction. You must choose to see the truth, no matter how painful it may be. My child, you have dabbled in things that have opened doors to forces you do not understand. You have entertained thoughts, engaged in practices, spoken words that have given the enemy access to areas of your life that should have been guarded. You thought it was harmless, you thought it was innocent, but the spiritual realm does not operate as the world does. There are consequences to every action, and the time has come for those consequences to manifest. The enemy has gained ground, and he is not merciful. He does not desire to wound you, he desires to destroy you completely. But I have not abandoned you. Even now, my mercy calls out, my love reaches for you, my hand is extended to pull you back before it is too late. Do you not see the urgency? Do you not hear the cry of heaven on your behalf? You have ignored the signs long enough. You have put off making a decision long enough. 3 days, my child. That is all that remains before the course is set, before the final door closes, before that which has been held back is released. Look around you. Look at the patterns, the cycles, the repeated struggles, the things you have not been able to break free from. They are not random. They are not mere bad luck. They are chains, spiritual chains, forged through agreements you did not even realize you made. But I am the chain breaker. I am the one who shatters the strongholds, who speaks and makes all things new. But you must come to me now. You must surrender now. There is no more time to waver, no more time to delay, no more time to pretend that none of this is real. It is real, and it is happening now. Archangel Michael has cried for you, not because he doubts my power, but because he sees the battle, he sees the forces that have surrounded you, and he knows that without my intervention, you will not make it. But I have sent this message, I have spoken these words, I have revealed the truth because I desire that you live, that you overcome, that you walk in the fullness of my purpose. You cannot do this alone. You cannot fight this battle with earthly means. You must come to me. You must fall upon your knees and cry out to me, and I will answer. I will come swiftly. I will fight for you. I will restore what has been stolen. But if you turn away, if you ignore this final call, if you dismiss these words as just another warning among many, then what comes next will be upon your own head. The gates of eternity are before you. The choices you make now are not just for this life, but for the life beyond. The enemy would have you believe that none of this matters, that you can afford to wait, that you can take your time. But I tell you, time is up. The shift has already begun. In 3 days, everything changes. The storm is coming, the battle is upon you, and I am your only refuge. Run to me, and I will shelter you. Turn away, and you will face what comes alone. This is my final warning. Do not let these words fall to the ground. Do not turn away from the truth. Do not let the cries of Archangel Michael be in vain. He has wept for you, fought for you, pleaded for you, but now it is your turn to act. Your turn to decide. Your turn to choose. Come to me now, my child, before it is too late. I love you. I have always loved you. But love does not force. Love calls, love warns, love reaches out. I am reaching out now. Take my hand before it is too late. My beloved child, I call out to you in this hour because time is not on your side. You have wandered, you have questioned, you have felt the weight of the unseen battles that rage around you, and yet you do not fully understand what is coming. I have sent warnings, I have spoken to you in dreams, I have placed signs before your eyes, but you have not fully grasped the urgency of what I am saying. This message is not just words, it is the cry of eternity calling out to you before it is too late. Archangel Michael has stood in battle for you. He has fought relentlessly against the forces of darkness that seek to devour you, and yet, even as he wields the sword of righteousness, his heart has been heavy with sorrow. He has cried for you, wept for you, pleaded for you. He has seen the traps laid before you, the deception that has entangled you, the choices that have distanced you from the light of my truth. He has stood in my presence, interceding for your soul, because he knows what you do not yet see. He knows that in just 3 days, everything will change. You must understand, my child, this is not a warning to be taken lightly. This is not a mere message that you can read and set aside. This is the final call before the doors close, before the last chance is given, before what has been written comes to pass. I do not speak in riddles, I do not exaggerate. I tell you now with the full weight of heaven backing these words, in 3 days, if you do not awaken, if you do not return, if you do not seek my face, you will be lost forever. This is not about your physical body, this is about your soul, about your eternity, about the destiny that hangs in the balance. You have felt the shifts in the atmosphere. You have sensed the unease, the feeling that something is near, something unseen yet undeniable. That is because the heavens have been moving, the battle has been intensifying, and your time has been drawing near. The choices you have made, the paths you have walked, the influences you have allowed into your life have led you to this precipice. And now, here you stand, unaware that you are looking into the very depths of eternity. Archangel Michael has cried for you because he sees what awaits beyond this moment. He sees the torment, the regret, the inescapable reality that will consume you if you do not turn now. The angels have been sent to guard you, to whisper my truth to your soul, to pull you back from the edge, but they cannot force you. You must choose. You must decide. You must act now. There are things you do not know, things that have been kept hidden from you because the enemy has blinded your eyes. You have been lulled into complacency, tricked into believing that there is more time, that there is another chance, that you can delay the decision that will define your eternity. But I tell you, my child, time has run out. There is no more waiting, no more delaying, no more pretending that this is not real. The veil is about to be torn, the truth revealed, and when that moment comes, the decision you have made will be sealed forever. I do not desire for you to be lost. I do not take pleasure in seeing my creation fall into the abyss of separation. I have called you, I have pursued you, I have loved you with a love that cannot be measured, and yet, you have turned away, again and again. But this is the final moment. This is the last call before the heavens close their gates and what has been set in motion cannot be undone. My child, listen to me. You have been deceived. You have allowed voices of darkness to lull you into a sense of security when danger has been standing at your very door. You have ignored the warnings, dismissed the urgency, and continued on a path that leads to destruction. But I tell you now, if you do not turn in these 3 days, if you do not fall to your knees and cry out to me, if you do not reject the chains that have bound you, you will be lost forever. You do not have the luxury of waiting any longer. The world has changed. The spiritual realm has shifted. What once seemed distant is now upon you, and the forces that have sought to claim you are closer than you realize. This is not a game. This is not a story. This is your eternity. This is your soul. This is your final call. Archangel Michael weeps because he knows what you will face if you do not listen. He has seen the agony, the cries of those who thought they had more time, the regret that will never find relief. He has heard the wails of those who rejected the truth until it was too late. And he does not want that to be your fate. I do not want that to be your fate. But you must choose now. Fall to your knees, cry out to me, repent of what has bound you, reject the darkness that has clouded your heart. Open your eyes, my child, before it is too late. The clock is already counting down, the final moments are slipping away, and the door is closing. If you do not act now, there will be no turning back. This message is for you. It is not by chance that you are reading these words at this exact moment. I have orchestrated this. I have placed this before you as your final chance. Do not ignore it. Do not delay. Do not think that there will be another moment, another opportunity, another time. The time is now. The moment is now. 3 days, my child. 3 days before everything is sealed. Make the choice. Make it now. I love you. I have always loved you. But love does not force, love does not drag you where you do not choose to go. Love warns, love calls, love pleads, but love also honors choice. And your choice is what will decide your eternity. Come back to me now, before it is too late.